Welcome to NewsNation. 3 points, as discussed. First, something outside the box. Ever hear the phrase, in loco parentis? Yes, from the Hamilton song, My Shot. I'm a tailor's apprentice, and I got you all knuckleheads in loco parentis. But also from the law and government. In loco parentis means in place of the parent. And we use it when there's a duty to act in the best interests of the child. But it also applies to how government acts in care of the citizenry. Okay? Now, this is tricky. And right now we're living a moment when in loco parentis is more loco, as in crazy, than parentis, meaning in terms of doing what you should do. Why? We have a member of Congress tonight who's trying to get us the truth about the Kennedy assassinations and the Epstein case. But the government is treating her and you like dumb kids who can't handle the truth. As of now, even in the Trump administration, his DOJ won't even answer when this representative gets the files to show the rest of us. We need transparency to restore trust. I ask tonight, where is it? And we'll have the member of Congress to give us an answer. Then, there are major moves on immigration. One sounds pretty good. A couple sound kind of bad. First, Trump is offering citizenship and special status to foreigners who pay $5 million for it. The gold card, he says, not just a green card, the gold card. Some are offended. Kind of smacks of selling what should be free. Since when is it free? It's never been free. The existing EB-5 visa is there already for investors. It demands a $1 million investment that creates 10 jobs. It's already in the law. Democrats never had a problem. Now they do. And ask anyone who's gone through the green card process if it's free. Lawyers bilk many thousands of dollars from people who can't afford to pay it and sometimes can't afford to fight back because they're not here legally or they're in the process and they're afraid and people know it and they take advantage of it all the time. So what Trump is doing now is upping the ante. Here's the president explaining it.
We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship. And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people.
Listen, I was raised on the New Colossus and the Emma Lazarus poem and the idea of huddled masses and America being for those who couldn't be accepted other places. But the idea that this is a bad idea of Trump because what about all those who can't pay? That is a misplaced sense of defense of a minority that doesn't exist. We have an entire system for people who can't pay for entrance. Just because President Trump says it doesn't mean you have to spit on it. Judge the ideas and the actions, not just the man. You'll still have plenty to work with. Now, can the president do this? That I don't know. Congress reauthorized the EB-5 program in 2022. The power of the purse often extends a responsibility to go back to that which has the power of the purse, which would be Congress. So he would likely need Congress's blessing to add to or alter the program. But why would they fight this? It seems like a pretty good idea. Legal immigration, which is what this is about, is very necessary, and it gets neglected in lieu of this hyper-focus on illegal entrance. And slowing legal immigration is a problem for our economy and our communities. Now, there is an equal idea today, but it is troubling, okay? A registry for illegal immigrants. This is why President Trump has people thinking he has some dark tendencies. Why? A registry smacks of dark periods of our history. The idea that you want people 14 or older to be required to submit fingerprints and home addresses to the government, and if they fail to register, they could be fined $5 grand, sentenced to 6 months in prison. Now, here's what doesn't work for me. We'll get to the darkness, but just the practicality. All right? If you are here illegally, isn't the president's plan to deport you? Why not identify these people and remove them? Why have them sign a registry, right? But for me, as someone who questions the logistical, financial, and moral propositions involved in deporting 10 million plus folks, maybe this is a nod to the reality that Trump can't or shouldn't deport all illegal entrants because they are not all the same. But even then, this registry is still a bad look. smacks of the jingoism that led to the Muslim men being registered under President Bush and what Trump tried also in the travel ban. And also then before that, the alleged communists that they were trying to round up and register in the 40s and 50s, or the internment camps for the Japanese. That's what a registry smacks of, okay? The ugliness of America's experience. Besides the bias, ask yourself a practical question. What illegal migrant is going to volunteer to register for something if it leads to their deportation, right? If they're hiding, they're going to hide. And if, again, this is a nod to the reality that you can't or won't deport them all, then you don't need a new registry. You already have one, the tax rolls. And right now, it's estimated that only at most half of illegal workers pay fully into the system. So get them paying into the system. You got the registration, okay? Last point, Gitmo. Gitmo is becoming proof that we are not just deporting the worst, and that was the promise. And again, I understand that if you enter illegally, you are at risk of deportation. But I'm telling you, it doesn't make sense to treat all people who enter illegally the same way. It does not reflect the reality of the value or the experience in this country. And we are at risk of once again looking like we are among the worst in terms of how we treat people. The Washington Post spoke to 3 migrants who went to Gitmo. Post says they had no previous criminal record besides being in the country illegally. That is not rounding up the worst of the worst, but it is treating these people like they were the worst. They were only allowed to go outside twice for 1 hour a time over the course of 2 weeks. That could violate the 8th Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. They were denied calls to lawyers, loved ones. That could violate the 5th Amendment, due process, arguably the 14th Amendment. Now, Secretary Hegseth toured the migrant facility at Gitmo today with Fox host Laura Ingraham. Let's be honest, okay? Fox is more fan than fair broker. So these issues I'm presenting you with right now didn't come up, and that's not the job. It has to, because America must remain a beacon of humanity. We can enforce the law and be better than the places that are sending people running for their lives to our border. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.